September 1st, 1939 marked the beginning of one of the most tragic periods in the history of Poland. The beginning of Germany's unprovoked invasion, followed by several years of relentless and deadly oppression. This was a war unlike anything seen before. The ultimate goal, to completely eradicate and destroy Poland's culture, national identity, and everything Poland stood for. The German plan was a failure, but the scale of destruction was beyond human comprehension. After Germany's attempt at the total annihilation of Polish citizens, cities, and cultural heritage, the call for war reparations was completely natural to anyone who witnessed the countless atrocities committed on the civilian population. Every Polish family saw their livelihoods turned to rubble. None of them have seen justice.
I
think that the arguments regarding the moral aspect of the reparations stem from the nature of the occupation, which wasn't just a simple military operation with strict military goals. Its essential purpose was to exterminate a large part of the Polish nation. The idea was to reduce Poles to the role of slaves working for the master race.
Today, no one has any doubts about the pure evil of German war crimes against the Polish nation, not even Germans themselves. Similarly, there should be no doubt when it comes to reparations for those crimes under international law. Even though Germany's machine of death and destruction was stopped in 1945, Berlin has evaded responsibility for its actions to this day. The issue of war reparations was decided during the Potsdam Conference on the 2nd of August 1945, when Allied leaders met with Joseph Stalin and German officials to seal the fate of the post-war world. The decisions were made over the heads of Poles who were abandoned by their Western partners and ended up under the boot of the Soviet Union.
Poland was never a state or party, any agreement, peace agreement or any other bilateral agreement with Germany on the reparation issue. So this is quite a strange situation that after the war we don't have any bilateral agreement with Germany.
In contrast to the convoluted nature of most legal disputes, the case of war reparations for Poland is rather straightforward. When two sovereign states agree to something, they both need to be part of a bilateral deal. Poland was never a signatory of any documents concerning war reparations from Germany. Counting all the damages, loss of land, and the deaths of more than 5 million of its citizens, it was estimated that Poland should have received around $576 billion in today's money. Germany paid the equivalent of 89 billion euros in World War II compensation to its own citizens and only 65 billion euros to all non-German nationals. Polish slave laborers and surviving victims of medical experiments received only 150 euros each. 89 billion euros for Germans, 150 euros for their Polish victims. Someone may say that it was German citizens who were compensated the most for the war they brought upon the world. Yes, exactly the same people who voted for Hitler, who greatly supported the war, and who ran the war itself and the death factories. They were compensated the most for their war efforts.
We're talking about the reparation, human rights, rule of law, democracy. So we should see this conflict, this issue, as a global issue, not issue only between Poland and Germany.
After the war, Poland never renounced war reparations from Germany. It is, in fact, still waiting. There is no statute of limitations on war crimes, no matter when they happened or where they were committed.
As a rule, crimes against humanity do not have a statute of limitations. I believe that the murder of 5 million Polish citizens fits the description, but I'm sure that there will be some quote-unquote great lawyers who will say that it wasn't a big deal after all.
The Polish government assembled a special team of analysts and legal experts to write a report estimating Poland's total losses at the hands of Germany and the amount of reparations Berlin still owes the Polish nation. Their report provides exhaustive evidence for the atrocities committed by the Germans on Polish soil. Their research makes it abundantly clear. The question isn't if, But when will Germany pay for the damage, the pain and the suffering it brought upon the Polish nation during World War II?